Morning, guys. It's heading towards the afternoon. I'm going to try the New York session with a bit of a twist. We're going to get into this just before the build-up of the New York session, to be honest. From there, we're basing this again on the USD Japanese yen, the USD GPY, 5-minute sort of areas. And from there, break a structure to retest the order block, see where we are from that, see what happens to the build-up prior to that, simply because the other day we just missed out on a 10.66. We hit a -2. Okay, within that time frame as well, I work heavily on structure points. That is the sole purpose of these videos. Okay, again, this is not for me to obviously call out trades and things like that. Yes, it is, and yes, it isn't. I want to see how these areas are respected, how these areas are going to attain validity with regards to respecting these areas again, and I will structurally play out what happens within that 2-hour section. My biggest advice for this is, if you're watching me, click the subscribe button right now, hit the notification bell. You can do that for free, and then you'll be notified whenever things come onto my YouTube channel. From there, after time and you see the value that I do, if you want to get involved more, which there is nearly 400 people doing so right now in part of this right here, and you want to be in with that even more, you'll see a join button just below here. Click on that, become a fire member or become a spark, and you'll have access to the community channel, where we are doing this on a day-to-day basis with a more in-depth approach. And just to show you that, just sort of digress a little bit, you can see on here we have again, we go heavily on things like currency strength meters within our trading. We have members chat area, which is very, very active. We have a challenge chat where we're talking about people that are going through challenges. From there, we've got the video trainings, supply and demands, video training on bankers, full of modules. I even do a video training on what we're doing here right now, where I'll go a little bit more in depth. Again, from there, a very highly active area at the moment on the stuff that we're doing on here today, where people are putting in their charts and their analysis. And you see we go heavily in deep on here. Joe, who's just signed up with us the other day, great chart draw up on here. So Joe, welcome to the group. I hope you're having fun. I know I've been talking to you over the last 24, 48 hours. I can see you're going to have some success with this. From there, again, guys, we have homework sections on here, which I'm going to be building upon as well over the next few weeks. We've got so much goodness coming on. So if you want to get access to that sort of stuff, then all you need to do is hit that join button, become a spark or a fire member. I'll get you inside of here right now. Okay. With that being said, let's take a look at this 5-minute chart. We'll set our goalposts up, and I'm wanting to do this from the 11:30. Okay. I want to do this from the 11:30 start, and as always, 2 hours. That'll be 1:30. This will be a 1:30 p.m. finish. Okay. Now, this isn't always about finding those trades or being profitable. This is about documenting our findings, seeing where we are, seeing what happens within those 2 hours a lot of time. And as this is a starting block, as this is a first documentation, a first test of our first month, we are going to see what works within the time frames, see if we can find where price is going to give us the movement, and then we can work things from there. And it's my aim. I've already done a 1-minute set. I do a 1-minute session, which is very, very profitable at the moment. I've found my foundation with that, which is the Euro USD. I generally trade that from 8:30 in the morning till 10:30 in the afternoon. I have myself a little bit of a break. I'm going to start trying to do these from 11:30 till 1:30, and we'll take things from there. So basically what we're finding is if we get our path and we'll find structure. We can see, even though we're not going here, we're looking at these swing points, okay? And there's a reason why I do like this. It's simply because this will give us an intermediary price action, okay, between here. And if we scroll up on the time frames, you'll see as we scroll up, that time and the fractal nature becomes tighter and becomes tighter until eventually you will see within that 1 hour, bang, bang, bang. And I don't make this stuff up, guys. This just comes as second nature and little nuances that you can have in your skill set. Okay, so again, I did that in front of your eyes. I did swing points, go up a few time frames up to the 1 hour, and it's bang on the money. Okay, bang on the money. So again, I work upon structure. You have a pullback in this area here. We've possibly got a 50% area there of interest. We pull out the fire zones, which is something else we go heavily in on the group. I'll just put a trend line and I'll just work that upon there. Okay, so that's going to be an area of interest. What I'm doing, I'm just going to take that off. That's up onto the 1 hour. I want to get rid of that. And again, that there brings us into the order block of the 1 hour. And then if I go back down to the 5 minutes, we can see we have had, get the fire wand out, we've had a big break of structure from the 1 hour onto that. Pips wise, to an entry, you're looking around about 20 odd pips. So on a bigger picture, a bigger move, one thing I would possibly look at as an entry at the moment going along, we would take that there up to the high. Okay, just going to place that there. We'll see if that comes out again, risking 2%. However, we'll see what happens. Our structures come up. When we play out the structure, we've got our low. We've got a high. Higher, lower, and you'll see these on these points here. Higher, high. Higher, lower. And then eventually we've got a high, high. Now that is structure. That's where we are structure-wise at this time. Again, we are, so, as you notice, as we're going up, it's constricting in its sort of impulse move. And this here is one big impulse move. This in between is intermediary. And again, if you go up to the 1 hour, you will see right here, high, high, low, high, 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 low. And it just comes in conjunction with the candles. Does that make sense? So we go down to the 5 minutes. You're going to see intermediary price. And again, I'm not making this stuff up, guys. You're seeing it done in front of your eyes. Lows, highs, high lows, high highs, high lows, high highs. Take that back up to the 1 hour, which was the higher time frame structure. You can see we are beautifully doing these highs, high lows, high, and it's constricting it into a form of the 1 hour candle, which gives their own support and resistance in their own right. Let's go back down to 5 minutes. And then from there, you do have order blocks within the 5 minutes, to be fair. Let's just call out a few things. So you've got a higher high, okay? You've had a break of structure. That's a higher high. Again, a break of structure here. Okay, I've got an order block, which is there. Just just do the horizontal rear. 50% is around about that. So let's just take a look. Let's be a bit more precise. Template, IPA. So to the eye, there's 50% there. So what you could do is refine this a bit more. 50%. Okay, that's that. So that's 50% there. Just want to do 50% of the 50% of the order block. Okay, I'll just do something else I'm testing with this. Do that there. Let's get rid of this. And this is all about testing at the moment. Get rid of this. Long position. So you could have a position there to your block here. And that's your high at the moment. There's a 1 to 4. Okay. So let's see if this holds. And again, I'm just doing this as a test. 2%. 2% risk on that there. We'll see if we do create a high at the time. Overall, this here on the downside, that there on the downside is for overall structure. An overall structure point of this is of this. Okay. Again, that is where we're looking at overall, but as we maintain structure intermediary, okay, I'm looking at the order block here, which is broke structure of this. So that is a break structure point. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Get this right, John. So that is a break structure point. Okay, as you can see, just going to get rid of some of this. As you can see, we broke the structure high side. Okay, so just to reiterate, broke structure high side from here. So this is going to give me my order block down here. So you know of that. We'll keep that in play at the moment. Intermediary price is snaked up. Okay, just want to get rid of some of the mess on here as well, just so I'm not confusing you. We've got lows, highs, higher lows. Oh man, it's lower highs. Sorry, man. It's higher lows, man. It is higher lows. I always get it mixed up. Higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. We've now attained here high low, and it's constricting within price. Again, we've got liquidity residing on the high side here. I am anticipating the price to come down into this order block. The whole order block of the 5 minutes, just to speak this back to you again, is wick to wick. I've gone 50% of that order block, but then to refine it, I've done 50% again. So basically it's gone in quarters, if that makes sense. Something I'm testing at the moment. Again, I'm going to risk 2%. I'm not bothered if this loses. I'm not bothered if it wins. I'm documenting at this stage. I must get this across. But from this aspect, it's letting you join me along for the ride. Learn to build that structure. Learn to identify your areas. Let's see if we can fine tune. Let's see if we can tweak. Let's see if we can find a method and a structure and a strategy that will work alongside this to be able to hit these areas. Okay, so as this is moving up, I need to move my high again, simply because we have not getting any pullback. There's 4 minutes 30 left on this candle. Until we get a red candle of pullback coming back into play, we will continue to drive this structure forward. Okay, again, it just means we've had a break of structure on this higher side as well, just to maintain the level of what we're doing. Take a look. So a break of structure. Just get rid of, in fact, that might just hold there, to be fair. I just want to test some of guys. 50% of that. You hold in there. So it's not good enough. Not good enough for a 5 minute, to be fair. I'm going to say this whole structure, see if this plays 2% risk. Okay, we'll clear that from there. And that's it for the moment, guys. I hope you're enjoying these videos at the moment. It's a new approach we did from, I think it was from 1:30 till 2:30, I think it was just the other day. I'm going to try from 11:30 till 1:30. So it's the build up towards the New York session to see what kind of move we get. If I'm honest with you, with regards to my overall outlook on this pair, we are on the bit of the high side with regards to 111.278 at this current time. Over the last several months, at least, the average price on the USD JPY that I'm aware of when I've been trading it, when I was a longer term trader, was around about the 108 to the 110. It's even been as low as the 106 and 107 at some stage. I know that because I traded this pair heavily back in the day. So let's see what happens. We've got 2 minutes and 24. I'm going to pause the video, see if we do get the point of return back into here, and then giving us a 2% risk. It's going to be a nice return on this if it does come in, and then we'll take it from there, guys. Okay, I might buffer that a bit more to 3.44 and draw that up a little bit more. So it's a 3.67 at the moment. So I'm going to pause the video. We'll come back, see what happens structure wise. We've got 2 hours to play with. Please take notes. Please understand, obviously, and go back to the beginning of the videos. If you're taking notes, if you're getting a light bulb moment, document what you are sort of learning along the way. Timestamp it with what's on the video and the time frame. You can go back on your notes, re-watch what I do, and then you can try and draw what I draw on the charts for yourself, and you will learn structure much more. And I said this in the previous session this morning. By doing this, it's going to give you those 3 vital steps, and what my mission is for everybody in this group. It's going to give you confidence. You're going to see these areas play out because you are visually, as a trader, drawing these up. You're going to build your consistency, because as you get your confidence and you build these up, your consistency comes in conjunction with what you're drawing up, because you are visually maintaining your structure. You're seeing these areas of POIs, point of interest, come back to mitigate into those areas, and then you are going to be getting that further drive and push towards where you are. I do apologize, I was receiving a phone call there. So from there, guys, just keep plugging away, keep drawing, keep practicing. We'll come back in a moment and we'll see where we are in the next 5 to 10, 15 minutes, most certainly. Okay, so I'm just going to stop the share and pause the video for now. Right, so what we've got here now, guys, is we've got a high now. That has been created. We're now starting to get the pullback. Hopefully, what will have to happen is obviously coming at the 50%. It would have to break the structure of that lower high, bounce off this. We'll see. We'll get it. It's starting to pull back a bit. There's 3 minutes left. We've got the break of structure. We've got these BOSs on the way up. BOSs is break of structure. Let's just have a look on there. You see break of structure. You've got here break of structure. You've got here break of structure. Just to show you, relatively, to be honest, that there was a break of structure. Okay. So what's happened is your break of structures here. You would then, from an entry standpoint, is 50% possibly of that. Your stop loss will be around about here. Your new high will be that area there where it broke structure. Okay. Again, guys, that there is a risk to reward of 1 to 3.41. 2% risk. There is just under 7% growth based upon that. Again, break of structure hasn't come into play as such. However, you can put the 1 minute in with these. So we just come down here, go side by side mode. We've got the 1 minute. And we can see we've had a break of structure here. Let's just see what happens if I used to put the long on that area there. Okay, based upon that structure there, based upon that there, that will be a 1 minute entry on a 1 to 3.82. Let's just move that 2% risk there. Let's put, let's see, 1% there. 1 min. I'm not risking anything on this. Okay, guys, this is purely just to show you from an aspect of what's happening with regards to price on here. Okay, and how it's respecting these areas. Let's see if this will stop out. I'm hoping it will stop it out, simply because then we can move down to the 2% risk area. To be honest, it's hovering within there. Will it get a pullback? We can wait and see. But it's just giving you that extra confirmation and eyeball on just how these order blocks are respected, to be fair. Again, if you pull that out, you can see on here, this is the 1 minute. Okay, the 1 minute order block being respected. On the 5 minutes, it's just part of the dissected fractal nature of the 5 minute block there. Again, I want this to stop out on the 1 minute solely because I want it to come down to our lower side of the 2% risk on the 5 minute block, because that's what this is about. However, if we look at either side of this, so the 1 minute, it's a 1 to 3.82. This other one's a 1 to 3.67. So if I was to enter this on a 1 minute, I would have only risked 1%. If I was risking on the 5 minute, which is the next one down, you'll see it's not on the 5 minute chart, but it's on here. This would be a 1 to 3.67, risking 2% from around about 7%. So again, I'm going to stop the video, see what happens. We'll come back. We'll see what happens on that 1 minute. We'll see what happens on the 5 minute. And then we'll take it from there, guys. Again, this is just for me to show you visually what can happen structure-wise, and also digressing between the 1 minute and the 5 minute charts. And again, this is all about being visual. This is all about giving you an understanding of structure playing out, and it's giving you an idea of order blocks from our 5 minute scalp, which is what we're doing at the moment, but also breaking it down into a 1 minute segment, because it's a bit more advanced technique, but it also shows you how one plays onto the other. Okay, so I'm just going to pause the share and we'll be back in a few moments. There we have it, guys. Based upon that 1 minute area, let's just get the fire wand out. You can see the 1 minute and 5 minute in tandem next to each other. We on the 1 minute, the order block, it's come back out and it's sort of hit liquidity. It's coming back out, and now it's coming down to come towards the 5 minute order block. If I just put that there, the 5 minute order block again was this bit here. We are heading towards the first 50% area. So if we just get this, there we are. So as you can see, in fact, I'll get it from this side. You can see the first orange line is the 50% of the original order block. The order block being this doji candle here, where neither buyers or sellers were in control. There's an equal amount of selling on the wick to the highs, to the bottom side, to the high side. What has happened now is, if we delve deeper, okay, we've now got our entry, okay, because we've done 50% of the order block, and then we've done 50% again. So now we have a 2% riding on this. Hopefully we will see what happens on here. Let's see if we get our trade. We're just going to cancel out the noise. Again, we were just factoring in earlier on what we were looking at. So 50%, and then drilled it down to 50% again. Just get rid of the big order block because we know we are now in on the trade. Let's get rid of the higher side, 50% of the order block. And we can also get rid of this noise. We can see this trade play out for us. Let's see what it brings. See if it goes back to that higher side. Again, if it fails, it just means we've lost out on 2% risk. No big worry at all. This is all about just understanding structure and how these 5 minutes can play out. Again, on the underside, it looks as if it's going to break out. We have very minimal risk to rewards, to be fair. That is there. I'm possibly going to bring that a little bit further down underneath that lower low sort of thing from there. Let's just see what happens, and if it plays out, we'll get rid of some more of this noise on here. And overall, higher time frame structure wise on that hour, excuse me, if we were to go back up on that hour time frame, that there is the sort of swing points. We've got an order block entry, 50% of the order block there as well on the lower side is where it'll be aiming for, but we are working on a 5 minute parameter. Working from 11:30 to 1:30 today. We'll see what happens with this. I'll come back in a moment or two just to see what happens with us structure wise. We've now got an official entry. Let's get that back. Excuse me. We've now got an official entry. It looks as if it's going to knock us out, to be fair. If it does, we just move back to the high side, waiting for the return up. If this was to break out, we would use this as an order block, see if it bounces off and comes down. If I'm honest with you, which I will be, I'm always open and honest, I prefer using the scalper method based upon the 1 minute structure. 5 minutes, you've got a lot more that can happen fractal wise within the order block, which is why I've gone for the 5 minute order block, but then halved and dissected that 5 minute block to a 50% area and then halved it again. So we've got into a quarter theory sort of aspect because overall you've got mitigations within that 5 minute block. When you cut an orange open, you've got segments. It's the same with that 5 minute candle dissected in half. You will have areas of contractual importance within that dissected candle. Okay. So again, we are now creating a lower area on here. This is just going to get a little bit messy simply because we've got the pullback, and the pullback is broken structure on here. Okay, so we might get a push out. We may get a push out in fairness of this here. I can't say it holding structure simply because it's heading towards the liquidity here, and obviously on the return, on the downturn, you'll also have liquidity here. So these bits on the right hand side of this higher time frame push on the impulse here, sort of these are holding structure on the downturn. These are areas where we may get a bounce off and then return back on the pull up. Overall, higher time frame stuff, as I say, this is what we were aiming for, the pull into 50% of the retracement of that higher time frame, drill down to then go to the higher side. This is still going to be a 2% risk, as is this. So this may push through, giving us a lower low on a reversal, thus giving us a -2 at the moment. So I'm going to pause the video, see what happens in the next 5-10 minutes. We are now we're finishing at 1:30. We're now halfway through. I think I might go and make myself a halftime cup of tea as I normally do. And then we'll see where we are structure-wise from that. So again, I hope you're taking notes. I hope you're finding this instructional session useful. Again, be visual in everything that you do in your approach to your structure. Draw out what you're doing in your 2-hour time frame. This is not, again, and I must stress this is not about getting into trades at this stage. This is about helping you identify within a 2-hour time frame structure points. Once you can identify structure within the trading time that you're allowing yourself the chart, you can then start to refine and retune your eyes, your brain, and your thinking towards what you're doing on your entries to stop losses to take profits. Okay, so again, I do believe this could very well stop us out. If it does, we've just got another entry down here, and again, we'll be back in the next 10 to 15 minutes, if that. Okay, see you in a bit. All right, guys, so we've got once again our halftime cup of tea. Price looks like it is reversing on us, and it's going to stop us out. And that looks as if it's surpassed. It has. It's surpassed. So let's just get this in on here. Structure-wise, new order block. Short. Get this into here. That will be the risk to reward there. So again, let's put this here. -2%. Now we're waiting for the order block on the high side to come in to test. And what I mean by that is up into there, and then they come down. This will possibly be the last trade of the session, because again, the 5-minute sessions tend to 5-minute scalpers tend to not throw many trades out to us. However, let's just divulge a little bit deeper, go down into the 1 minute as well, make my handsome face a little bit smaller, digress into, cancel that, we'll digress into where we are on a 1 minute structure, just to see where it coincides with it. Again, we've broken structure. I would be more inclined to be using this area, and I'll show you why. I'll be more inclined to using that area there on the 1 minute, simply because this is just broken here, and we're seeing that. You could use that there on the 1 minute, but we'll go for the higher end one. It's coming in conjunction on the order block, where the top end of the order block on the 1 minute is the entry on the 5 minutes on this side, if that makes sense. So based upon the 1 minute, we'll see what happens side by side, because I know there is a lot of people interested in this sort of stuff. We'll just put that there. Target is here. It's only a risk of 1.172. And again, what I'll do is, just for shits and giggles, we're just going to have this side by side on each other, and we'll have this mirrored up. This is the 1 min. This here is the 5 min. Okay. So we'll see what happens with those two there. I'm going to pause the video. I've got a bite to eat. I'm heating it up, putting it in the microwave, and we'll be back in the next 5 to 10 minutes to see where we are, do an end of session conclusion, and then from there, what we'll also do is see where we are in the chart. Again, we're going to be in the minuses at the start of this, but again, this is not to document what we're getting on profits. This is to try and find that fine balance on what time frames or what time of day for the build up of the New York session is going to be best to trade with. I found my feet over the 1 minute in the Euro USD. It's just a matter of finding this with the trend on here. Structure wise, I hope you're taking out some form of knowledge today with regards to structure. Higher time frames based onto the lower time frames, giving you the intermediary price, giving you the supply and the demand areas a little bit better, because after all, that's what this is all about. Just going to pull this a bit further down, and it means this will be pulled a bit further down as well. And we'll take it from there, guys. I'll speak to you in the conclusion running up towards the end of this, okay? So I'll speak to you in a bit. All right, so it looks like we've made a tank of a move. It is, I'm just going to document this. It's now coming up to 1 o'clock, which is something we were anticipating. This happened the other day, to be fair. I'm going to move the bias on things. I'll just get rid of that. Get rid. I'm going to change it up. This is what we do. We live, we learn, we move forward. No such thing as failing and anything. We live, we learn, we move forward. Okay, so let's take a look. Order block. It's all about the order block. It's all about what we are learning. You see on here, the 5 minute, structure-wise, 1 minute, it's fractal, all these different candles. It's a pullback, 50% of that area, okay, could be of importance. I'm going to go with a short. I'm going to go for the open of that there, to be fair. We'll go with three pip stop, our thing there. And again, 2% on this side, based upon what we have on the 1 minute, okay? Based upon what we have on the 1 minute, we are going to be looking a little bit more deeper into this. We're going to be looking at the 1 minute is the half. We are there, structure-wise there. Let's have a look. You're probably looking at that entry there and this here. So again, it's a bit more of a refined area, as you can see, okay? A refined area. Let's see what this brings. Again, this is the 1 min. Okay. This here is the 5 min. And it's just a refined area. And again, as the price is tanking, the USD must have gone really weak at the moment. We'll see where we are. We'll see where we're heading. Again, overall, don't forget, structure-wise, we're heading down to this here. This could be an overall play into here to touch to take us to the higher side. If this was to come in, it would be a fantastic risk to reward. If this was to hit entry before any of these, then I would take these two out. Let's see where we are in the next few minutes or so. Hopefully you're taking some sort of, again, I'll say this from time and time again, hopefully you're taking some sort of knowledge in this on structure-wise and the play out. The initial bias was the run of play of this, 50% of it, to come down to mitigate, to go to the higher side. If I'm honest, possibly we should have had the entry. You see where the crosshair is to the right, this part here, maybe we should have had it on the purple. However, I've left the purple line on because that is the full order block area, but I'm bringing this in a little bit more of a refinement area. We'll see what happens, see which one plays out, see if we get the bigger turn or we're going to get the smaller downside turn, okay? Because again, as you can see on here, we've got from this aspect, we've got obviously coming down on the trend, you've got lows, liquidity taken out, most certainly from here. You see this here, you've had, looking back on price, there's been a change of hands, okay? So as price was bullish, bang, 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 we come down, taking liquidity off here, change of hands, weak hands into strong hands. So then we've come down, and then it's mitigating more or less 50% of these areas, each pullback. As you can see, the pullback, 50% mitigated. Up, break a structure, pullback, 50% mitigated. Up, break a structure, pullback, 50% mitigated. Break a structure, up, pullback of 50% mitigated. Again, coming down, break a structure on there, up, pullback, 50% of the pullback mitigated. And it's just about catching these trends and everything that is within the structure of play, from the higher time frame down to the lower time frame. Again, I'm going to pause this video and we'll be back for an end of conclusion for today's session. And if you haven't caught any of my 1 minute scalpings, that is my forte. I love doing the 1 minute ones right now, simply because I used to be a higher time frame person, 1 hour trading with supply and demand and smart money. This is a bit like smart money in conjunction with the scalping sort of things. And I get more out of the 1 minute at the moment than what I'm doing with the 5 minutes. I'm just starting to try and find my feet, trying to incorporate structure points, point of interest, or POIs, if you want to call it that for short. And then we're looking for being able to get that drive, get that initial push out of areas of interest to go to break the structure to the TP levels of the areas which are residing in liquidity. Okay, so I'm just going to pause the video and we'll be back shortly. Hi guys, so back. Coming towards the end of the conclusion. We'll just get rid of that noise at the moment because that's irrelevant at this time. We can see we have wicked beautifully into our original bias this afternoon, or the early hour, not the early hours, mid-morning. Okay, we've hit our original bias. So what we need to do is get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. So what we've got is we're looking for price to go up to the higher side. Okay, 5 minutes. If I drill this down to a 1 minute, let's just have a look at this. And I've got structure there. Okay, if I was to bring structure down to here, that's a 1 to 1.1. Again, what we'll do is we'll keep it to the higher side at the moment. Go back to 5 minutes. See how this plays out. We have got roughly 10, 15 minutes. We'll come back and see what happens on the run of play of this. Again, it's a 2% risk. We are still trying to find our feet on what time works best for us. Tomorrow, I might start the session from 12 till 2. And we've tried the 1:30 start. We've tried the 11:30 start. I might try the 12 till 2. I just want to try and find the momentum because we've had the price shift from just after the 12 o'clock on here. So maybe tomorrow we can start this from 12. I'm going to pause the video. We'll be back for, let's say, the 1:30 finish. We'll have a conclusion, a chat, and talk about structure points on what's happened on this today. Okay, so I'll be back in a moment, guys. Right, good afternoon, guys. So we're back. So we're into a bit of drawdown, conclusion on everything. You've seen I done the intermediate, I done the high, the lows. Okay, swing points, definitive swing points as we call it. We go up to the higher time frame in conclusion, which again I urge everybody to practice this. Swing points work beautifully within the 1 hour from the 5 minutes. Go back to the 5 minutes. We anticipated a possible the price range within here, 50% of to be mitigated. That is happening right now. We're in a little bit of drawdown. Again, it's the end of play, so this will not be counted as an overall trade to be put onto the system. So what we'll do is we'll just drag this across and we'll just get rid of that. From there, we are on a -2 on a 1 that happened today. So if we just minimize this, go on to that, click on the scalper, go on to the 5 minutes. Again, these only churn out around 1 trade a session, to be fair, -2. I'm not getting too worried at all because I'm not live trading this, in fairness. What I'm doing, I'm building up a report over the course of a month, okay? And I'm seeing where we are at the end of that month. And I will continue to do so with regards to the 5 minutes and risking 2% trades. However, as more and more comes into play with trades, if you were live trading, you wouldn't always risk 2%. Your risk to reward management needs to come into play. So then maybe if your 2% went into 4%, which it has done here, you would then start coming into risking that 0.5% to gain back your risk to reward back to the equity where you need it to be. But for now, what we are going to do, because we aren't live trading, I've got to stress out, we are not live trading. I will continue to do this based upon 2%. We will see where it brings us towards the end of a 4-week period. I'm going to try and continue to do these videos every day. I'm already doing the 1 minute. That's my forte, okay? The 1 minute is the one I'm enjoying doing. We have 23.84% on that one in profit. However, in the next, I think it's next week, I do believe I'm at the hospital again. I go at the hospital every 2 weeks for review of my medication and blood tests. So one day next week, I do believe it is the 11th. I do believe it is. I will not be trading on the 11th. I'll have to verify that on my Google Calendar. In fact, let's just see if I can get this on now. Google Calendar. Let's just see what's, yeah, bloods. I've got my bloods in the morning, so there'll be no trading on the 11th. Okay, that's what I've got upcoming on that. So I don't want to sort of do any trading during that day. Again, I'll see what happens with this trade going into tomorrow, see if it's played out. If I'm honest with you, I don't think it's going to, simply because I've entered a trade on the USD JPY on a sell on another strategy that I use, which again is on here. Currently, I'm in a little bit of drawdown, but if this is to play out, I'm going to be looking at around about 900 odd pounds of profit. We've got the stop loss just above the area here, but I'm looking from my live account, I'm looking for this to sort of come down and drive towards this area here, this area of what we would call retail support here. So I'm expecting this to drive down and give us some good price towards this area, which again will be just under 1,000 profit. A little bit of drawdown, I'm not too worried about that at the moment. I do believe that this will drive us down towards this in a given time. Okay, so that has been my conclusion for today. Just going to stop the share and make my handsome face a bit bigger. So today's sort of feedback, we went over the high lows, the big swing points within that 5-minute frame. We went up a couple of time frames to look to see where those high lows were fed into the hour. We'll look for the order blocks, 50% off. Again, if you want to refine even more, 50% off, and you can see where you are on the lower time frame and things like that. However, when it came to it all, we started this the Friday of last week. We started this between the 1 and the 3, I think it was, or it might have been 12:30 till 2:30. We've done this one from 11:30 or thereabouts, 11:30 till 1:30. I think I'll do tomorrow's session at 12. We'll do it from 12 till 2. Okay. So again, we're just at this moment, at this time, it's the first week of documenting our findings on the 5 minutes. We are trying to find common ground where we're finding the initial push going into the New York session using the USD JPY. And it's not about what we're losing at the moment. It's about understanding structure. Again, we'll have a clear mindset with this. It's about trying to get and finding a happy medium, understanding the structure, the price movements of the USD JPY leading to the New York session. And then from there, we can find a happy medium with regards to a time area of that 2-hour situation and see what works best for us, because there will be an optimum time where price seems to move on certain pairs at certain times of the day, and we, going back on the 1-minute scalp, we have most certainly found that on the Euro USD. I have found a good parameter of the 8:30 till 10:30. So that's the conclusion of today's video. I hope you're enjoying these sort of things. Again, we got that a -2, but again, we're not worried about that. This is about finding structure, letting price come to us, understanding why these points have failed, and along the way we learn from those mistakes, and from there upon learning upon that, we see where we are structure wise, why that structure has failed, and then we can anticipate further down the line if we come across similar sort of patterns or styles of price movements. We can sort of understand the probabilities of how we are going to respect those areas or break through them. Okay, so my name has been John, Mr. Forex Buyer. I'm going to sign off for today. I'm going to have a little bit of a chill, watch a film before the kids come back from school. I hope you've enjoyed this. And again, please engage, comment, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you are not in here at the moment, we've got so much more inside of the Discord channel. People are helping each other. It's not just about me. I just wanted to build a community and get people together where they can feel safe to trade around inside with each other. And that's what this is. It's over a year old now. We are heading towards 400 members. And if you just want to show your appreciation or your support, somewhere on the bottom of here, you'll see a button that says join. You can come in at a Spark or a Fire member just to show you a little bit of appreciation, and it just puts a little bit of money towards me getting a cup of coffee or a breakfast, or I don't know, whatever you want to do. And in the description below, you will also see links to my personal Facebook page and some other links where if you want to go for these funded challenges. Okay, guys. So again, thank you very much for engaging with this video. Thank you for the likes, the thumbs up, and reaching out to me. Again, it means so much to me. If it wasn't for you guys watching this, I wouldn't be making this content, and I wouldn't have been creating this. So again, big thumbs up to you, and thank you. See you later.